have done this voiceover so many times, and I'm trying not to overtalk this, but I have a really good recipe and I just want you guys to try this. It is so good. Actually, it's 3 in 1. So I have 3 recipes that I'm going to give y'all. These are the ingredients for everything that you see or you saw in the beginning. These are the ingredients, and I'm not going to name them because clearly you can see what they are. Like, however, I will leave the recipe in the description of the video. Okay, so if I didn't say hello, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to give you this delicious dinner idea. Okay, and I hope you'll try it. So first, let's start with our garlic mashed potatoes. Now, if you don't want to peel your potatoes, don't. You know, sometimes I leave the skin on too. So yeah, do what you want to do here. But just make sure that you chop your potatoes to medium to small chunks. Okay, we're going to add these to a pot. You can either use chicken broth or you can use water. It really depends on what you have available. Okay, just make sure you season your liquid. So you want to season this with some chicken bouillon powder. Okay, season this to your taste. I like to taste mine, you know, just to make sure that flavor is there. Okay, you're going to boil your potatoes, cook them until they are fork tender. Okay, so just cook this on high heat. You don't have to cover it or anything like that, but you just want to make sure they're fork tender. Then go ahead and drain the liquid from the potatoes, but do not rinse those potatoes off. Don't rinse them. So I'm making garlic mashed potatoes. If you don't want garlic in yours, then you don't have to do this here. But if you do, I am sauteing this garlic in unsalted butter, and I'm just going to let this cook for 1 minute. That's it. So I'm just going to add some heavy cream. So I've added in some heavy cream. I also seasoned this with salt, like a pinch of salt, but I didn't show that part. So now I'm going to mash my potatoes, and then I'm going to add the heavy cream to the potatoes. Okay. Also, I added in some butter. Okay, you won't see that, but I did add in butter. If you want your potatoes more creamy, then go ahead and add more heavy whipping cream. You can just, you know, you can make this your own. Like if you want your potatoes extra buttery, you know, do you here. I'm going to add garlic salt, and then I garnish with parsley. That's it. Potatoes are done. So let's work on the Southern style green beans. As you can see, I've added some sliced onions to my skillet that had a small amount of oil in it. I'm just going to saute these onions until they are slightly translucent. And then next, I'm going to add some chopped garlic, and I'm going to saute this for an additional minute. Next, I'm going to add my chicken broth. Okay. And then to this, I'm going to add some smoked meat. Okay. So you can either use smoked pork, turkey, or beef. It's up to you. You're going to cover this with the lid, and you're going to let this meat cook for about 30 minutes on low heat. Okay, so you're just going to let it simmer. So after 30 minutes, let's take this meat out and let's trim off the meat from the bone. Okay, you're going to go ahead and add in your potatoes, your green beans. You can add the meat trimmings back to the pot. You can season it now with some black pepper or any seasonings that you like. I like to kind of keep it simple here because a lot of the flavor is going to come from the meat and the chicken broth. So I don't like to add a whole lot to my green beans. So I'm just going to add those bones back in there to let some more of that flavor cook out. I'm going to cover this and just let it slowly cook for up to 30 minutes. Okay, then just like that, your green beans are done. This was simple, yet this is so delicious, so good. Okay, so let's start on our Salisbury steak. So as you can see here, I have my chopped and sliced onions, chopped and sliced bell peppers, and then I'm just using some chopped jalapeños. Okay, the jalapeno pepper, that's optional. Okay, but I like to put it in my Salisbury steak. Okay, I'm using 1.5 pounds of ground beef. This is an 80-20 split. Okay, Now I'm going to season this with Lawry seasoned salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. So I'm going to season this well. Again, you guys, I don't remember if I said it because like I done did this voiceover too many times, but I will leave the recipe in the description box. Okay, I'll let you guys know exactly how much I used. So after seasoning the meat, I'm just going to work the seasonings into the meat. Now, here's a good tip. Let that meat come down to room temperature. Don't try and work with cold meat because it's a little harder to work with cold meat, but it's easier when the temperature of the meat is not as cold. Okay. So now I'm going to add my chopped vegetables in there. And from here, I'm just going to form my patties. Okay. So as you can see, those chopped ingredients are inside of that patty. Okay. So keep it in there because as you cook the patties, the flavor from the onion, the bell pepper, all of that is just going to be in the meat. Okay. So yeah, form those patties and then you can season it with a little more Lawry seasoned salt and a little more pepper. Okay. 1.5 pounds of ground beef gave me 5 hamburger patties. So now I'm just going to sear these in my skillet on medium high heat. Okay. And when you cook your hamburgers, you just want to get a nice sear on both sides. Okay. So the inside of your hamburger patties might not be completely cooked, and that's okay because we are going to let our patties simmer in the gravy. Okay. And we're going to do that next. Okay. So don't worry too much about, if your patties are not fully cooked. Okay. You're going to be good. So now let's continue on and cook the rest of our patties. You want to sear them nicely on both sides, then remove them from the skillet. I'm going to saute the bell pepper and onion in this hamburger fat here. As you can see, I just removed a small amount from the skillet. So when you saute your vegetables, you just want to do this until the onions are slightly translucent. Your temperature setting should be like on medium high. I always work with like medium high temperature. So if I don't say it, most times it's medium high or it's medium low. Okay, so you're going to cook these until the onions are slightly translucent. Then I'm going to add some unsalted butter. Okay. I'm also going to add some flour. So this is the beginning process of making the gravy. Okay. And as you can see, I'm still using the skillet that looks burned, but trust me, it's not burned. All of that is the flavor from those hamburgers. So make sure that you cook your, that you make your gravy. Make sure that you make your gravy in the same skillet that you cooked your hamburger patty. Okay. Because that, my friends, that is where the flavor is. So, cook it in the same skillet. So you're just going to cook that flour for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then you're going to add your beef broth. I like to add half the container at a time and then stir it up and then add the remaining beef broth. Okay. And I like to do that so that it'll mix, it'll mix better. If you just pour all of that in at once, you might have clumps in your gravy, and we don't want no clumpy gravy. No. We don't want no clumpy gravy. So I like to use my silicone spatula just to gently scrape the bottom of the skillet to get some of that flavor to release. As you can see, the gravy has a beautiful brown color, y'all. And the flavor was really good. It was so good. So I'm adding these patties back in there. And then finally, I'm going to season it with some chili powder, some beef bouillon powder, and a small amount of black pepper. Okay, so I'm just going to season it and mix it up. And then from here, I'm just going to let this simmer on low heat. I'm going to cover this with my lid, and I'm just going to let this simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, on medium low. So when you make your food, make sure you monitor it. If medium low is like too much of a boil, if it starts to boil, then turn that down to low. Okay. And you might also want to check your hamburger patties just to make sure that they're done on the inside. And you have Salisbury steak. So let's make our plate. Here we have our Southern style green beans and potatoes, our garlic mashed potatoes, and our Salisbury steak. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I work really hard on this video. Like, y'all, I'm losing my voice with this voiceover, but I'm really trying. I'm really trying for y'all. Thank you so much for watching. This food was so good. I hope that you guys will give it a try and comment below. Let me know what you think, and I hope to catch y'all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.